Happy Sunday, everybody. Welcome back to another installment of Mr. Eric Reads. We got a great book for you today. It's called Mama Played Baseball. It's by David Adler. It's about the story of the league from the movie A League of Their Own, which is one of my favorites. So enough of that. Sit back, relax, and enjoy this tale right here on Mr. Eric Reads. Throw the ball, Mama said, and I threw it into her glove. No, Mama told me. Make me reach for it. Make me jump. So I threw the ball just over Mama's head. And she reached up and caught it. So I threw the ball again, this time high over her head, and she jumped up and caught it. We played a long time, and then we sat on the steps. Mama held my hand. She looked at me and said, I need a job. While Dad's away, I need to work. It was wartime, and Dad was in the Army fighting for our country. Mama said, I need your help practicing baseball because I hope to get a job playing in the Women's League. What kind of job is that, I wondered. Before the war, Dad drove a truck for a milk company, and each morning he brought milk from farms to the plant where it was poured into bottles. That's a job, I thought. Baseball is just a game. That night at Sunday dinner, Grandpa told me, I fought in the last war, and he showed me his medal. Grandma said, you told Amy last night about your war and your medal. Well, I did fight, and I did win a medal, Grandpa said, and he pointed to an old picture. He'd shown me that last night, too. After dinner, we listened to the news of the war on the radio, and then we listened to the Jack Benny Show, Dad's favorite. I wondered if Dad was listening, too. The next morning, we went in Grandpa's car to a large baseball stadium. Grandma, Grandpa, and I sat in the stands, and Mama went out onto the field. There were a lot of women there. They stood in a line, and a man with a bat hit a ball to them. If a woman missed the ball, the man said, thank you, and he pointed to the gate at the side of the field. And that woman didn't make the team. Finally, it was Mama's turn. The man hit a ball over Mama's head, just like I threw it to her when we practiced. Mama reached for the ball and caught it. Then she went to the back of the line. Each time it was Mama's turn, she caught the ball. When the man pitched to the women who were left, Mama swung twice and missed. Then she hit a ball on the ground right back to the man. It wasn't a good hit. I was afraid the man would point and say, thank you. But he didn't. He told Mama to come back the next day. Two days later, Mama showed us her uniform. It was a pretty skirt, a shirt with a fancy patch, long socks, and a baseball hat with shoes. If Mama has a uniform, I thought, she must be on the team. Mama got the job. That night, we had a party to celebrate Mama's new job. Grandma baked a cake, and I covered it with icing and sprinkles. We kept the radio on as we ate, and we listened to news of the war, and I thought about Dad. At bedtime, Mama told me she hoped the war would end soon so Dad could come home, and I hoped so too. The next week, Grandma and Grandpa took me to one of Mama's games. Her team was in the field, and the ball was hit high over Mama's head. She jumped and reached up. I jumped and reached up too. And Mama caught the ball. When it was Mama's turn to hit, I stood. The pitcher threw the ball, and Mama swung her bat. I swung too and hit Grandpa's bag of peanuts. And then peanuts flew everywhere. When I looked back on the field, Mama was standing on second base. She had hit a double, and Grandpa had changed his seats. Amy moves too much, he whispered to Grandma. Amy is playing baseball with her Mama, Grandma told him. When the game was over, I ran to Mama. We won, I shouted. Mama hugged and kissed me. We were so happy. Grandma, Grandpa, and I went to lots of Mama's games, but only the ones that were nearby. Mama traveled with her team by bus to faraway games. I stayed home and drew pictures. I loved to draw. After each game, people crowded around Mama. They asked her to sign pieces of paper and baseballs. One day when we got home, I asked Mama to sign a baseball for me. "You don't need my autograph," she said. "Oh, yes, I do," I told her. "I want it because you're a great baseball player and because you're my mother." That winter, whenever the ground was clear of snow and ice, Mama and I went outside. We wore winter coats, and I wore woolen gloves, and Mama wore her baseball glove. Mama gave me a baseball and told me, "Throw the ball, make me reach for it, make me jump." So I practiced whenever I could. Baseball is my job, she told me, and I want to be good at it. So it was my job to help her. Then one morning, the next fall, Mama put on her uniform. "Come with me," she said. "I have a surprise for you." "Aren't Grandma and Grandpa coming to the game?" "No," Mama said. "Just you and me, and we're going to the bus station." So while we walked, I asked Mama, "Are you taking me to a faraway game?" Mama didn't answer. She just smiled. When we got to the station, we waited. Then a bus stopped, and lots of people got off. Some of them were soldiers. Then I saw him. My dad was getting off the bus. Mama and I ran to him. We hugged and we kissed him. Mama touched his cheek and said, "You look so handsome in your uniform." Dad smiled and said, "And you look so pretty in yours." When we came home, Grandma and Grandpa met us at the front door. Grandpa wore his uniform and his medal, and inside was a big welcome home sign with a cake. And after we celebrated and ate all the cake, I took Dad's hand and said, "Now I have a surprise for you." "You do?" Dad said. Mama, Grandma, and Grandpa looked at me and said, "What surprise do you have?" I didn't answer. I just told Dad to sit in his favorite chair. I went into my room and I brought out all my drawings. They were of Mama playing baseball. "These are great," Dad said. "Mama is a great baseball player," I said. Then I turned on the radio. It was Sunday night and I sat on Dad's lap and we all listened and laughed to Dad's favorite program, The Jack Benny Show. The war was over and my dad was home. The end. That was David Adler's Mama Played Baseball right here on Mr. Eric Reads. Hope you enjoyed that story, guys. Go have a great rest of your Sunday. Please stay safe and healthy. Wash those hands. Practice kindness in everything that you do. And read a book every day. Until tomorrow, Mr. Eric, signing off.